Hey, Court. So that was a main topic of discussion with Dr. Rochelle Walensky, the CDC director. She said overall, she thinks vaccination is going well in this country, although they're getting to the point now where they have to reach folks who are not as eager to get the shot as the first group was. She said if we get to 70 to 80% vaccination rates in this country by fall, we should be in good shape. But some communities will have less than that. And she said those communities might still see outbreaks in the fall of COVID if they don't get their vaccination rates higher. For kids ages 12 to 15, she said she really hopes to see that a lot of them will get the shot. And I asked her what it could mean for schools. Here's what she said.
We should be in full school, full in-person school in the fall. We have vaccinated over 80% of our teachers and educators. In the fall, we will have, or I hope sooner than the fall, we'll have the opportunity to vaccinate our teens. And so I really am hopeful for a really robust, full in-person school year in the year ahead.
So she said it wasn't going to be necessary to go back to school safely, and she noted for younger kids, we likely won't have a vaccine at that point, although the companies are working on them. Another huge topic of conversation lately, of course, around the COVID vaccines has been the Biden administration's support for waiving intellectual property protections for the vaccines. I also spoke with Eli Lilly CEO David Ricks about this. They are not making a vaccine, but of course he is a leader in the industry, and Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, after that announcement about the vaccines, actually tweeted out a CNBC tweet about the COVID vaccine makers' stock prices and said, let's do insulin next. Eli Lilly is, of course, one of the major makers of insulin. I asked Dave Ricks his response to this. Here's what he said.
I think it's an unfortunate turn of events because the representative you mentioned and others who were proponents of this, I don't think understand the issue particularly well. The problems in getting vaccines to the world are quite different and require a huge supply chain effort. I believe the number of vaccines for COVID we'll deliver in a year as an industry is double the normal vaccine production for all other diseases. So it's a huge operational lift.
And guys, he also noted that for insulin, there are already biosimilar competitors on the market, and it is a tough space to compete in. Court?
Thanks, Meg. I want to go back to some of the points you were making earlier on, talking about the hesitancy in some communities and trying to reach them with these vaccines, and then tie it back to them being approved for younger children. My brother-in-law works at a high school, and he said they had a vaccine drive for those that would be eligible yesterday or the day before, and only 14 kids showed up. Is this going to be a problem that's even more pronounced in a younger generation?
It could potentially be. You know, there was a Kaiser Family Foundation poll, at least of parents, that came out last week saying 30% say yes, absolutely right away. For my kids ages 12 to 15, I want the shot. 23% said no, definitely not. But what Dr. Walensky told us is that they have seen hesitancy in adults go down over time. And so they're hopeful that for teens that will happen too, and that they'll see the benefits of getting vaccinated in allowing them to get back to their regular everyday lives.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.